Judy is obviously out there auditioning, which seems to be the way prospective Fed governors now go out and talk, which is a departure really from what used to be the case. But that said, it'll be for the president to decide whether or not she actually becomes a nominee, and then of course for the Senate to determine whether or not she is confirmed. Judy Shelton is somebody who has some unorthodox views. She's known as a gold bug, for example. I don't view any of that as disqualifying. I think that the real test is whether some of these views can be connected to what we are now seeing in the economy. I think Judy Shelton is correct that inflation has been persistently low, and that needs to be looked at. And the extent to which she's interested actually in talking about how these concepts connect in to parts of our country where the economy has really been overlooked, hasn't been doing as well as other parts. So looking forward to hear what she has to say about those things.
Mark, switching focus and talking about the minutes today, there wasn't much reaction from the market. What was your interpretation, and what does it mean for rates?
Yeah, I agree. There wasn't much market reaction, and I think that the market generally saw the minutes as a reiteration of a lot of things that Chair Powell had highlighted in his press conference. The fact that inflation or low inflation was seen as somewhat transitory and is expected to pick up a little bit later in the year. But also I think that the market probably didn't react very much to the minutes because they were seen as slightly stale. These minutes were really reflective of some of the good growth that we had, just a short while ago, but ahead of the increase in trade tensions, which has been the market's focus of late. And given that they don't really reflect how the Fed is thinking about the increase in those tensions, I think there's less guidance for the market to go off of and think about how to set or price interest rates or risk in this type of environment.
Sarah, thanks to our producer, Mike Newberg. They used the word patient 8 times in the minutes. What are they trying to signal to Wall Street here about the next move? It's very unclear.
I agree. It is unclear. And the use of the word patience, actually the definition of what patience means, was something that the minutes show was debated extensively. But what patience essentially means is that we don't know yet whether the FOMC is more inclined to raise rates or whether it's more inclined to drop rates or whether, in fact, this is going to be the rate. So there were no signals leaning in either way. Again, what you're seeing here is, if we go back to what April was all about, the April FOMC meeting had 2 big takeaways. One was Chairman Powell's statement that inflation was due to transitory factors, and then the other had to do with the interest on excess reserves. You'll remember that was dropped at the last FOMC meeting. And so what we're seeing in the minutes today is an elaboration, really, of those 2 ideas.